Good afternoon, everyone. Oh, you can do better than that. Good afternoon, everyone. So for those who don't know me, my name is Peter Favorito. I'm the guy who's flooding your emails all the time, but I'm the Senior Digital Equity Manager for the city's digital equity team, joined here by many of my colleagues, both from Do It and the City Council. You'll be hearing from folks in a little bit, but I'm just here to kick things off. I want to say Happy Digital Inclusion Week 2025. Those who are familiar, this is an annual event just to help advocate for digital inclusion across the country, and we want to use this time to lift up the great work that folks here in Boston are doing, like yourselves. You're tremendous partners of the city of Boston, and the success that we have would not be made possible without your efforts day in and day out. And so we're here, just want to convene everyone, celebrate everyone. We have some special gifts for you all, and but yeah, so no, I just want to, this is an interesting time that we're living in, and it's ever more crucial that digital inclusion work is being done. I'd be remiss if I failed to acknowledge that we're living in a scary, tumultuous, and unprecedented time, to say the least. Both domestic and foreign government policies and actions have normalized things that have no place being normal. Hate is consistently being welcomed with open arms. But it's for those reasons that we must find the strength to challenge the new status quo and be the changes that we want to see. While the future of digital equity funding programs remains uncertain, we can all do our part to continue bridging the digital divide here in Boston. We just might have to get a little creative moving forward. We must continue to engage, government partners like us, look towards, private entities, philanthropic entities as well, and just continue to raise awareness to elected officials, both at the state, local, and federal levels, and show people that digital inequities only further every societal inequity that exists. And so if we take our feet off the gas now, so much of the progress that has been made will be lost. I do want to close out just by quoting former President Kennedy when he famously referenced John Winthrop when speaking about Massachusetts by saying, "We must always consider that we shall be as a city upon a hill. The eyes of all people are upon us." There is a reason for why folks from other parts of the country and the world look not only to the Commonwealth, but to Boston specifically for guidance across various sectors. In these trying times when digital equity work is more crucial than ever, when having access to the online world, healthcare, and government programs is more crucial than ever, when dispelling misinformation and mistrust is more crucial than ever, Massachusetts and Boston specifically has the opportunity once again to be a beacon of hope. So thank you all again for coming here, and without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to our Chief Information Officer for the city, Santi Garces.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you for being here. Brian, I was going to call him out to come up. He's so good about staying in the background, but we'll see. Oh, come on. All right, fine, we'll continue with it. But I just want to recognize Brian Donna here, Chief of Digital Equity, who always leads from behind the scenes. And a big shout out to Peter as well, who won a big recognition yesterday from the Mass Broadband Institute as the top creme de la creme, top digital equity champion in the state of Massachusetts. And you'll be hearing from two of our great champions in City Council, Councilor Pepin and Councilor Santana, about how important this work is. But as Peter was mentioning, digital equity is something that maybe 5 years ago, everybody understood what it was and why important it was, right? It is so clear that if you didn't have a computer and you didn't have a connection at home, your kids weren't able to go to school, you were not able to do work, and you were forced to be in environments that made you feel unsafe. This is the time where the pandemic was running around, and it was difficult, it was unsafe for people to be out. And the reality is, like as Peter pointed out, there's still a number of those same barriers. Some people might not want to or are not able to go to City Hall to request a birth certificate or to do certain work. They might want to learn something that because they are unable to go to the places where they used to go, and digital equity is still really important for us to solve. And even I was going to bring a quick example of how the internet has enabled me, but this is like not that important. I decided to learn how to play the ukulele, and the way that I've been able to learn how to play the ukulele is just going on YouTube, watching videos, learning about new chords. I'm learning about music theory. Like there's this whole world that was unknown to me, and I am not going to subject you to listening my attempt at playing the ukulele, but the internet offers possibilities and it expands the frontier of what we're able to do and be able to connect with people that might care about the same things that we care, but that might not be people that we encounter every day. And that is incredibly powerful. And I think at the heart of what Mayor Wu always invites us to think about. But how is it that we build spaces that make us feel that we are part of one big thing? And she always talks about making Boston feel like home. And I think most people would know that not having Wi-Fi at home brings a little bit of unhappiness, and when the Wi-Fi is not working well, if you are used to having Wi-Fi, it doesn't feel great. So at the city, we're really committed to continue to partner with all of you, and we're so happy to see that a lot of the people that enable us to do this work are here, but all the way from working with the Boston Housing Authority and working with our housing providers, because we know that the internet is still a physical thing. Being able to ensure that people have access to affordable, high-quality internet service, preferably in their home, is critical. And we're doing some really exciting work, and we're really grateful for our partners. Ideally, affordable means free, because for some families, even $30 or $60 a month is way too much. They cannot afford it. People that are living on $17,000 a year, I think is the average income in Boston Housing Authority. $60 is still a lot of money for people like that. And they have to make tough choices around like, what are you gonna pay? Are you gonna pay for medicine? Are you gonna be able to pay for a car repair, for anything? And we hope that we can make those choices much easier if we're able to bring the cost to zero. We've also been working a lot on enabling access through devices. So we, thanks to the council and to our team, we have started to donate devices that are still in really good condition, but that could use some other, a second life. We're keeping devices out of the landfill and in the hands of families that need them through our refurbishment program. And then we had a big donation from Computers for People last week. And again, skills. And we know that making sure that people feel comfortable, that they know how to use these tools and resources. There's a lot of change with AI, new tools that are both incredibly powerful in enabling people to access open data and access information, but also create new risks. And we already know, even without AI, that making sure that our elders have the experience and the knowledge to be able to use these tools, that they don't fall victim of crimes, of fraud. Those are things that are really important, and we were really happy to welcome Invoice Cloud, which is actually a vendor of the city, to a new headquarters in the Seaport, where they were featuring a partnership that they have with the Central Boston Elder Services, which is also a key partner of our Age Strong Commission and Commissioner Emily McShay, and one of the recipients of our Digital Equity Fund. Why? Because they're spending money and time supporting elders, being able to know how is it that they can be safe and keep their finances safe in an online world. So again, I'll turn it over, I think, first to Councillor Santana, but thank you for being here. Thank you for all the work that you do, and thank you for helping us learn what are things that we can do to be supportive of you. And only in a place like Boston, only in a place like Massachusetts can we achieve these really great and ambitious goals, even in times of adversity. But it's because we have each other and we have the trust to try to work through the tough problems and connect people. So thank you, and I'll turn it over to Councillor Henry Santana.
Good afternoon. All right, we could do a little better than that. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. My name is Henry Santana. I have the great honor of being one of the at-large city councilors here in the city of Boston, meaning I represent the entire city. And just want to thank Mayor Wu, the DUIT team chief, for all the work that you've done. I want to thank you all for first being here, but for all the work that you do year-round, on this issue. I grew up in public housing. My family still lives in public housing, and I'm a proud product of it. It gave me access to everything that I needed. But you also learned, the lack of access that you have to different things that many other families here in the city of Boston have, right? And my first job out of college, I was working for Kenzie Bach, who is now the administrator of Boston Public Housing, but she was a District 8 city councilor. And very quickly, the pandemic hit, right? And my mind, my focus, my main priority was on our youth and making sure that they had access to laptops and to Wi-Fi internet to make sure that they're continuing their education. When we took on that role, I prioritized the Boston Public Housing Authority. So we were going door to door, making sure that our youth had access to those laptops to continue for their education, right? And I mentioned that because it's something that I don't think many people think about, right? And when you have it, when you have a laptop, when you have Wi-Fi, it's easy to take it for granted. But I want to make sure that all of our families here, all of our youth, not just here in the city of Boston, but across our state and nationwide, have access to these tools, right? So now as an at-large city councilor, my number one priority continues to be our youth. I think digital equity and inclusion it's so important. The chief just talked about AI and what that's doing, how it can be used as a great tool. But if we're not providing education, if we're not empowering our students on how to use it, then it can turn into different things, right? So I'm just very proud to be here. I'm proud to stand, to be part of a council that cares about this, and we're going to continue to invest in you all. And we really want to make sure that you're reaching out to your local councilors as well to make sure that you're holding us accountable and pushing us on the investments that we need to make. So, this is so important. I'm just really glad to be in this room. I know that I'm joined here by my good friend and District 5 City Councilor, Enrique Pepin, who is laser focused on this issue as well. And I think there's a lot of work to do. I think we've done a lot of work. The city of Boston has done a lot of work. All of you have done a lot of work, but there's still so much to do. And I'm here for it. I'm here and I'm committed to it. And the only way that I can learn is to hear from you all who are doing this work, who are in the community, who understand the issues and understand what we need to get to. So please count on me and my office to continue pushing this work. And without further ado, I'll introduce District 5 City Councilor, my good friend, Enrique Pepin.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
My name is Enrique Pepin. I have the distinct honor of being your city councilor for District 5. That's Rosnell, Hyde Park, and Mattapan. So I see some familiar faces in this room here today. But I wanted to thank the chief and your cabinet, the workers for every single department, and just everyone that's in this room that's doing the work in the community, because we are in a new generation of connectivity. We speak with individuals in our community, with our residents, with our families in a different way than we used to 10, 15, 20 years ago. And so we're celebrating a week right now of National Digital Access or Equity, but in reality it's something we're doing every single day. And when I think about the way that I even interact in my role as a city councilor, is understanding that I myself have to be creative in how I am connecting with our residents. Understanding that it's not just doing in-person meetings anymore. I think COVID really showed us that we're now meeting virtually. People are connecting on Facebook pages. And we have to make sure that everyone knows how to navigate those systems. So I wanted to bring an experience that I was able to witness in my district, and this was something that the Innovation Technology Cabinet did is that in Mattapan at the Hassan Apartments, I don't know if you remember this, Chief, but you did a training for the seniors that lived in those apartments. And you did that not only at those apartments, but across the city, I believe. And you gave them the opportunity to know how to navigate a laptop, how to create an email, how to use Zoom, how to be able to interact with residents that know how to use a computer to be able to actually meet and talk to other people. And I remember them feeling so grateful because you made that opportunity possible for them. And then another thing that I wanted to bring up is the fact that your cabinet every single day is also being innovative and creative about how do we expand broadband access. I remember having a conversation with you about how do we increase the 5G network at MBTA stations or at our public buildings. Because the reality is that wherever we stand here in the city of Boston, we should be able to connect to strong internet. Because that is the type of infrastructure that we need in order for our city to continue to advance. And I have the honor of being the chair of city services and innovation and technology in the city council, so I very much have a lot of conversation with your cabinet, but also just making sure that we are continuing to put funding into these programs as well, because we can't do this without money. And we have to be very mindful of how we're doing that. And I wanted to also give a shout out to our local organizations and our local groups that do amazing work. I'm looking at Pastor Jean back there from Mattapan Tech, and the fact that you are teaching youth from Mattapan and Hyde Park and Dorchester, those parts of my district, where you are allowing them to see that there's a path for them into this field. And that just because they're from this part of the city that usually doesn't have this type of access, that they cannot get into it. So I want to just thank you here publicly for working on things like that. Because what I was able to do when I visited you, I saw a group of almost 50 students. And they were speaking to me in ways that I didn't even understand what they were saying. And that's the truth, but I saw potential there. And also making sure that we're holding those companies accountable, the Verizons, the Comcasts of the world that have a lot of opportunities to partner up with some local groups. So making sure that we are continuing to build those partnerships in order for all of us to continue to succeed. So just on behalf of myself and my office, just congratulations. Let's continue to do this work together, because in reality, this is something that impacts every single one of us in the city of Boston. Thank you so much for having me here. Yes, and we do have official citations on behalf of the Boston City Council for some of you. So, okay. I'm going to read one of them, and then what I'll do is I'll call up your name, and you can come up and receive your citation. So this is an official resolution of City Councilors Enrique Pepin and Henry Santana. Be it further resolved that the Boston City Council extends its gratitude to, I'm going to name one, Asian American Civic Association, in recognition of your mission and dedication to digital inclusion in Boston. Thank you for your work in bridging the digital divide. Be it further resolved that the Boston City Council extends its best wishes for continued success, that this resolution be duly signed by the President of the City Council and attested to, and a copy thereof transmitted by the Clerk of the City of Boston. Congratulations. Okay. So, an Asian American Civic Association, come up and receive your citation.
Yes, please.
Sure. All right. There we go.
1, 2, 3. Thank you.
You want to do the next?
All right, we have next up, we're not going to read the whole thing for every thing, but next up we are honored to honor the Boston Center for Independent Living. Do we have representatives?
All right. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, the next citation is for Boston Medical Center Corporation.
One of my favorite neighborhoods. We have East Boston Social Centers here. Woo! I like all neighborhoods.
One, two, three. Perfect, thank you.
Okay, the next citation is for Franciscan Children's.
Oh my God, yeah, you should have been
Oh.
up here.
Oh, good.
Maybe we can do a big group picture at the end.
One, two, and three. Yeah.
We have Mattapan Tech in the house. Congratulations.
All right. See everyone.
What did I do?
Yeah. Good catch. Ready? 1, 2, and 3. Thank you.
Another East Boston.
Okay. All right, next citation is for Maverick Landing Community Center.
You're all incredibly well dressed.
It's my chill day today.
All set.
Mothers for Justice and Equality.
Yeah.
This is for National Digital Inclusion Alliance.
Come on, Power Teal. Very good.
We have Power Corps Boston in the house.
Right, here we go. 1, 2, and 3.
Okay, this is for Buddhist Zoo Chi Foundation.
Oh yeah, come on.
So we're doing a group picture. So once again, thank you for coming. Thank you to the council for their unwavering support. Am I supposed to say something else? Of course, we're gonna.
That's okay.
You're getting upgraded to Shelby.
Thank you again for coming. I know I'm going to send out all the pictures from today to your emails. If you did not receive a recognition, let me know either in person or by email. You all should have one, and we'll make sure that you get one. And otherwise, photos are coming your way. We'll take time now for a group picture, but then after, we're going to stay if you need. I know some folks need to leave early. But we on the city, we've spoken a lot, and we would love to hear from you about the challenges that you've overcome in the last year, how we can support you, and also what you're looking forward to in this next year. So let's take a group photo, and then we'd love to hear from you. We'll invite you up to the mic to speak.
And just as people are, and don't be shy, come here, we want to hear from you. And just so you know, again, we are planning, not today, I was reminded, but soon, the second phase of the Digital Equity Fund for this round. So hopefully the kinds of things that you tell us will help us learn about how is it that we program the money for this next round. So feel free to come up.
Small bag. Thank you. Awesome. All right, more over here. Just looking at
Thank you. One more.
Are there any digital equity folks that would like to come share any remarks? You can just throw up your hand and we'll have you come to the podium.
Don't be shy.
Yeah, come here. And also please introduce yourself for the room if you could.
If you can just say the organization and your name. I mean, we know who you are, but you'll understand why later once you make a video out of this.
Hi everyone, my name is Pablo Huitrón de la Vega. I'm a primary care physician at Boston Medical Center. Thank you so much for the city and for the support. We have a digital health equity program at our institution, and today is a very exciting day for us because in the evening at 6 we'll be launching our first digital health equity training courses that we have been working really hard with That Goes Home to start. One of the gaps that we see in our communities and our patients that many have their laptops, many have their phones, and they know how to use the internet, they know how to use the phones and the computers, but they don't know how to use them for their health. So they don't know how to use the patient portals, they don't know how to use the different things that the hospital and others have invested to manage their health. So today we're gonna do the first pilot of these digital health equity courses, and some here in the room actually gave us some feedback a few months ago, so really appreciate that. That's been helpful. So these are going to be available hopefully by January for any of you to use with your communities. While they are targeted to Boston Medical Center tools, we have designed it so that anybody that's kind of trying to learn how to use a patient portal can use it, or anybody that wants to do a telemedicine, or anybody wants to use a community resource repository can use. Now the social services are really hard to manage for our patients, and now that's something that we have, and that's something that we can teach our patients to do. So we're really excited about the opportunity to collaborate with you and with everyone that's interested about this, and thank you so much for the support from the city. Thank you.
I'll get it.
Perfect.
Never been a mic that I haven't been. Thank you. My name is Glenn Williams. I'm the general manager of Boston Neighborhood Network. Boston Neighborhood Network is the access channels. We have 6 television stations and a radio station. One of the things that I'm working with, and in fact, an hour and 15 minutes, I'll be sitting at the table with Tech Goes Home. They've got a new leadership, and we're very excited about getting an opportunity to talk to them. The main thing that we're going to be doing, we're doing a lot of educational things as far as people get to know what to do with their computers, get to know how to set up emails. What's that A with the circle around it mean? All of that kind of stuff is being done inside of Boston Neighborhood Network. One of the things we don't see happening is the parents of the kids in the schools, that you give them a computer, they go home, and they turn to their mother or father or brother and sister and say, I don't know how to do this. And it's unfortunate, sad, and disgraceful that the parent turns to them and says, neither do I. So what we want to do is we want to have classes in our conference room, classes in our studios where we're teaching 5th grade parents how to use the computer that we're hoping they're going to get from several organizations to assist their kids at home. Because no kid should be going back to school saying things like, well, I asked my mom, but she didn't know how to unlock the capitals. She didn't know how to log on to the internet. So this is a stage and a step that we're starting to commit ourselves to. Come by and visit us at any time, Boston Neighborhood Network, television and radio. Thanks.
We've got more time. Yes, please.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Mark Cotton, and I have the honor of representing the Asian American Civic Association today. One of the things I wanted to raise is that the work we do at AACA is really twofold. First of all, we connect people with resources, including getting the internet in their homes, which is important. But the other thing that we also do is we try to provide education. We most recently had a community forum on artificial intelligence, and the city of Boston was kind enough to join us. One of the things that I was reflecting on today is just the digital challenges that a lot of people are looking to face and are fortunately lacking the resources to be able to deal with. My primary role at AACA is I run the low-income taxpayer clinic. And why that's relevant to this is that a lot of government services, including the IRS, which just put most of its workforce on furlough today, is going digital. And you still have to pay your taxes. But there is less and less people to help bridge that divide at the federal level. And so it falls to organizations like us. I also deal with a lot of people who have unfortunately been preyed upon by things that they have found on the internet, whether it's something from ChatGPT telling them this is what you should do with your taxes, which is never the case, or if they just Googled in good faith looking for help with their taxes and end up getting scammed. So I appreciate the statements from everyone here who's talked about the need for equity, because as that digital divide grows, so is the need for information and access. Look forward to partnering with you all to get that done. Thank you.
Hi. Come on up.
You guys can come up. You're going to
Hey everyone, I'm Max Cheesem with Maverick Landing Community Services. I think one of the most important things from our perspective around digital equity is that the resources you need to teach it are always right there at home. So when I joined the organization, these guys were already there. They were part of the teen program, they had finished the teen program, they had gone on to college, and they came back to help teach digital equity to folks that speak only Spanish and to folks that have been formerly incarcerated and haven't had the access to any kind of device with modern standards. They don't have access to smartphones. Ish is pursuing an IT degree. Jose is pursuing a communications degree. These are the future of IT practitioners. These are the future of our digital literacy practitioners. And making sure that you're always thinking about who's already in the building that already knows how to solve these problems is so crucial to addressing these issues. Hearing from someone who has the primary role of tax preparation, right? And recognizing that increasingly that's also a digital role, it means that there's always someone that can talk about how does digital equity apply in this case, in your office, in your daily life. And you can ask them questions and you can understand what is the issue that you are seeing every day when you work with people on these problems. I'll leave it at that.
Let's do the blue and then we'll go in red.
Hi, my name is Vicky Chen. I'm Tzu Chi Foundation, and thank you so much, Brian, Peter, and Shelby to have us here today. And I want to share our service target is the Chinese speaking, Cantonese speaking. We teach them start how to turn on their phone and turn off their phone, and how to find a Google map, and how to call, how to translate, use their phone. So we start from the 12 people, and they start have 20 people. We start for one class one week, two class. Then later on we go to the senior housing. We extend the 5 senior housing after all, and start from individual 12 to 200 individual with 800 attendee. And the most challenging is we got call from Dorchester. They have a Vietnamese community. We don't speak Vietnamese. What should we do? But we drive 1.5 hours to go to their site. Just want to let them have the opportunity to learn how to use this device. So, but we don't speak Vietnamese. What should we do? We speak English. So we have their manager be the translator to do that. So I think this, when we're talking about equality, I think this equality for now, no language barrier. So we are so happy right now. Our people still asking when we start have this class. But still, we're still doing that. Even this grant already stopped. We still have them come every week. We not afford more, but we still have them come to our site to do that. And right now, the staff from don't know how to turn on their phone. They use ChatGPT now. And we try to have them to, I think the challenge is when they try to write down all the application in the health form and all the telehealth, they have no Chinese. So they is not able to, even they know how to use the device, they cannot go through this. So I think this is a challenge, and maybe later on, they can just go online and to do all the appointments they can do it by themselves, like the MyChart. Okay, thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Jennifer Atlas from Franciscan Children's. Through the funding that we are incredibly grateful for from the City of Boston, we have started a program of telehealth therapy groups. We have run in the last year over 20 telehealth therapy groups. These are 8 to 12 week groups run by talented therapists on Zoom for children, teens, families. It's been wildly successful. We've gotten incredibly positive feedback. We've also launched text messaging reminders through the grant, real-time interpreter services through Zoom consults. We've expanded our telehealth visits. The grant has been a tremendous support to us, and we are very appreciative, so thank you.
Anyone else? Yeah, come on.
Hello, I'm Natalie. I'm from the East Boston Social Centers, and this grant has allowed us to provide homebound seniors in our community with tablets to prevent social isolation. So we have trained them in the use of these tablets so they can access our virtual programming, connect with loved ones, and access telehealth opportunities. So it's been incredibly successful in preventing social isolation, and we're looking forward to hopefully expanding the program and reaching even more homebound seniors in our community. So thank you so much for inviting us, and thank you so much for your support.
There's time. We have a room until 2:15. This is slated until 2, so.
Hi all, my name is Sarah. I'm from the Boston Center for Independent Living. So we provide services. I'm the assistant director of the Direct Services program, which means peer-based one-on-one support for individuals with disabilities. And I think that our service model lends itself well to digital equity and digital literacy skills training, but the crucial need that this grant has met has been the need for quality devices, particularly laptops and especially phones have been a very high need for folks. The population we serve is disproportionately economically disadvantaged. There's accessibility challenges as well that come with being a disabled person and trying to access technology that's not always accessible. So being able to learn how to even access built-in accessibility software is crucial. So that on top of actually having a device, which the funding of which not everybody can afford, I would say that has been instrumental in allowing us to continue our digital equity efforts. So thank you so much. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Anyone else? Okay. I sincerely appreciate, and on behalf of Do It and the Digital Equity team, as well as City Council, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for the hard work that you do. Please grab some goodies on the way out. If you're not following our Instagram, I would also encourage you to do that and let anyone here know if you need anything. Have a great rest of your week.